Good morning, traders. Welcome to our trading room. I believe we're live already on YouTube. Can somebody confirm? I can't see the chat. Big, post something in the chat. Let's see if we can. If it pops up on my side. Because I have to read the questions the traders will be sending in. Okay, yes, it just came up. So great. So, okay, good morning, traders. And we're in our trading room as usual for the London session, and we're going live on YouTube for my viewers on YouTube and those who would like to learn more about wave analysis and see what we do. Now, if you have missed the previous days that we did, please go watch those recordings. In every recording, I guarantee there's something you'll learn about wave analysis, something interesting you'll learn about trading, right? And if you know anybody who's struggling in trading, please let them watch it. There is no obligation to do anything. Just watch the videos. It's free. You can learn something. They might change the way they trade, or they might realize that what they're doing is wrong, right? Because there are a lot of traders who have never seen my videos, and when they do see it, they're pretty much amazed by what they see, and then they start figuring out what they did wrong, right? And I can go through the list of people who, right in Dubai here, I mean, like literally in Dubai, next to me, not very far from me, was a trader who was trading until he was recommended, hey, you better talk to this guy. You really need the help, right? And then he talked to me and he was like, damn, you know how much money you would have saved me if I had met you like 2 months earlier? Like 2 months earlier, and you would have saved me a ton of money. Because he looked at the trade he took, and he looked at my analysis for that period of time. And he was doing the opposite. So it's a normal thing, right? So let's go. This morning in the Asian session, we identified some trades. So I'm going to start by showing you one of the trades. One of the trades we identified was this one. Some of the traders sold it here, but I hope they took the profit because we were expecting this move up, and it's happening now. I did our rows here when this was up because we were expecting a running flat. The trade we'll be looking for is a sell. So this is what we're going to be looking for a sell from there coming down. If we get a flag, you can put in it. This was the buy yesterday, right? Remember that when I said you can buy this yesterday? By the way, out of curiosity, on YouTube, how many of you took this trade? Because I remember clearly said when I was talking about this trade, do you have the courage to take this trade? Do you understand the trade? Is this a trade you can actually take? Right? And I said, this is a buy. Let me see how many of you are going to take it. Most of you will not because you don't, you simply don't know what the trade is about. You're looking at me, you're thinking, why would you buy there, right? Out of curiosity, anybody took the trade? Not in our group. I know some of you took it, but thanks, Julian. Yes, a few of you took it. I want to know in YouTube. Well, YouTube, no, nobody answered, so they didn't take the trade. So we assume that is it. And that's the thing about wave analysis. Now, here's the thing. This thing is going up. It's going up right now. And my thought process is let it go their turn and we're going to look for a sell. So if and when we get this sell, I would show you how we will take the trade, and I'll tell you where we think it's going and how we're going to manage it. Right? So for this, let's wait. Could this become a buy? It probably could be. You could make an argument that there's a contracting flat in there and it's going to be a buy, but it's not a buy setup as yet. Yesterday, that was a perfect buy setup. Today, there's not a buy setup there as yet. As a matter of fact, I think we're going to come down pretty deep. You see, I already have an arrow there telling you we're going to come down pretty deep. So let's wait for the setup and we're going to go. That's one we did this morning. There are a few more. I'll go through them as we go. Let's start with dollar index. Dollar index, same thing. Yesterday, that was a sell. Today, it's going to be a sell. We're coming back here. We're going to make a flat here, and then we're going to look for a sell setup. Right, so as of now, it's going to be a sell. It's going back up, and that's normal. We were expecting a move back up like this. There was no buy setup in it, but if it gives you a buy setup, we can probably take it. But somewhere from there, I think we will be getting one more to the downside. So I'm just going to put one more impulse to the downside, and then we're going to see where that takes us. Right? Big picture, if you want the big picture views on all of these, please watch the previous webinars because I did them every day. I'm not going to go through them again today. It will be too long. I'm going to give you trades. These are the trades we'll be looking for. Silver. Perfect, right? So yesterday, this is what I had. Let me show you what I had yesterday. I told you when it gets there, it's going to come back to the bottom here, and then it's going to go back to the top. Now, I put it at this level here because that would be a regular flat. It actually came a little lower and then go back up. Well, the only thing it did was it made an expanding flat. From this being a regular flat here, it came here, that's an expanding flat. So you can pull this here, that's an expanding flat, and go up there. Try guessing that, right? Try guessing that it's going to come and then it's going to go back up, right? That's not a guess. That's a pattern, a precise pattern that we know exists. Guess what would be the trade? Now I'm going to show you something really interesting that you probably would want to join me next week to make sure you don't miss it. This is what silver chart looks like at the bottom. This came down from the top, right? This came down from the top, and this is what it's looking like right here. If you know anything about wave analysis, you would know that at some point in time, we're going to get a mover back like this. See that move there? We're going to get a mover back like this. Here is the question. Is that move going to happen from here, or is that move going to happen from here? Right? So you don't want to miss that move when it starts, because it could be really fast. It could be slow as well, but most times it is very fast. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come to the daily. And right now we're correcting downwards. And there's a very, very high probability that this is what is going to happen. We're going to retest this low. That's a high probability. Remember, we have a flag there to sell, a flat to sell. So today we will sell. There is news this afternoon, US news at 4:30 this afternoon. That's my time. If you can join us this afternoon, you should join us. We will trade the news and you will see how we do it. And this is a trade we could get this afternoon. Very likely. If the flat doesn't break out now, that is an excellent trade to get this happening. You don't want to miss it. You don't have to trade it with us. You just don't want to miss it, right? Because this is going to be perfect. From here, if that happens, it doesn't have to happen this afternoon, right? Don't go say, hey, he says it's going to drop this afternoon. I said, if it does, we will sell it because we're prepared for the sell. But from here, this could start this up move really fast. That would be just a perfect flat. Can it actually come lower? Yes. Can it go back up and drop again? Go back up, drop again? Possible. Right? So I'm not going to go to the details of wave analysis. I'm not teaching wave analysis. I'm showing you possibilities that can happen. So right now you have a perfect flat there. See that flat happening there? And that's a sell setup you don't want to miss. So how we're going to sell it? Well, two ways you can sell this. That line at the top is to show you where the top is. That's not a buy, right? Don't they? That is, I'm waiting for this to go break the top and then drop. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to break the top because it could be a contracting flat. But we don't forecast contracting flats, so we're going to make the assumption that this is making a running flat here. I think you can see this. I have to take out the arrow for you to see that. Let me pull the arrow a little aside here. So you can see that there's a possibility for a running flat here. We also spoke about that in the Asian session, that it could come here, and it could make this, and then it will give us the sell setup. Now, can you buy this trade here? You can, but it's not worth it. There's no point buying that. Focus on the sell. What if it's dropping now? What if this thing is dropping now? Now it's going to go down. Well, you just can't jump in here, right? Because remember, I just told you it can go up. You need confirmation that it's going to drop. You need this to come here. You need this to make a flag here. Any flag we get in here, we will be selling. Even if that is not the flag that is going to break out now. That doesn't necessarily have to be the flag that's going to break out now. But if you get a flag, we're going to sell. My traders, keep that in mind. Potential for the downside is huge. So, especially by this afternoon. I don't think it's going to happen now, but if it stays there by this afternoon, that would be an amazing trade. If it goes, if it doesn't go, no big deal. Hey, it's trading. The point of trading, and I think this is important for traders who are not in my group, a lot of traders don't get this right, is the process, not the outcome. A lot of traders out there and a lot of gurus out there want you to believe that if you do this, this is the outcome you will get. So here, I have a 15-minute strategy. If you learn it, you're going to make $2,000 a day, or you're going to get 50 pips a day, or what? Because they're telling you what the outcome is going to be. That's deceiving. I'm telling you what the process is in trading. I do not know what the outcome is. Now, most of my trades go well, right? But I do not know the outcome. We do not know the outcome in any given trade. You make your forecast and you follow the process. If you follow the process correctly, you're going to trade safely and you're going to preserve your capital and you're going to increase it. If the outcome is in your favor as you made the forecast, congratulations, you got a good trade. If it's not, your job as a professional trader is to make sure you get the hell out of that trade. Rule-based, which means you should know what to look for, when to look for, and how to get the hell out. If you don't know that, and if you don't know that there's a process you have to follow, then you're in deep trouble. And I mean a process. Trading is about the process. It's not about the outcome. When any big investors is going to get into a new project, he does not know the outcome of it. When Warren Buffett decided, oh, I'm going to buy, I don't know what, Apple stocks or any stock in the world, he does not know the outcome. What he knows is the process he's going to go through to decide if he's going to buy that stock or not. Whatever his process is, whatever he's going to be looking for, whatever he's going to have his research people look for, whatever he's going to have all the people working for him look for, but they will go through a process to decide whether that is a stock they'll buy. The outcome, none of them know it. They will make forecasts to the outcome. We all make forecasts. That's the whole point of trading. But you break the process that is working for you, and you're in trouble. If the process is not working for you, change it. Develop a new process. It means what you're doing is wrong. What we do is the process of wave analysis. We analyze, we figure out the direction, we decide how we're going to get that trade, we decide what the strategy is going to be, we decide how we're going to manage the trade should it not go. Because if it's going, you don't have to manage, it's just going, that's your trade. When it stopped moving, then you start to decide, okay, now it's time to manage that trade. So the process is, if it makes a flag, we will sell, regardless of what. And that might just drop here and go back up. But that's the outcome. I'm not interested in the outcome. I'm interested in the process. The outcome that I'm looking for is this. So if that doesn't happen, then I follow the process to get out of this and retake it from the top. The likelihood of this falling down is about 95%. That's a 95% chance of this thing going down. The same thing we have in gold. And if you remember yesterday, I was saying, I want gold to come and break this top, then we will start to look for a sell setup. But it hasn't broken the top as yet. And I still wanted to break the top before we start to look for the sell. Now, all of this here, this one didn't go break the top. It pulled back. It's doing this. It's coming back. It probably will work its way back. It could stay here for as long as it wants. For me, if once we break that top, I'm looking for a sell setup. Of course, I'll analyze the internal here to decide whether that is all or whether there's more to it. Right? So this morning we looked at it, and I think if I show you the analysis I looked at this morning, it might change by now, but I'm thinking this here, there's a 1, 2, 3 is an expanding flat in the middle and a 1, 2, 3 to the bottom, which gives me this as a flat. Now that might change. That might change if this piece starts to change. And I think we might get a change in that because this is starting to change. And if this proves to be what I think it is, a possible running flat in here, that's a possibility, not necessary. If this proves to be a running flat here, it means we're getting our core correction in here with this being 1, 2, 3. It is going to come back down and go back up. And that will only complete this piece. And that means this piece will be one piece. And that will be 1. So we still have to come back down and we still have to go back up. I'm in the 15 minutes charge. All of that could take less than 2 hours. 4:30, now is 11. We have enough time for them to do all of this and then get the sell. If I'm wrong and they're trying to drop right now, let's say I'm wrong about that pattern. That is not the pattern they're making there. This is all you have, and the expanding flat is the correct one, and this is going to drop right now. Let's just do this and say this one is going to drop right now. Well, I can't sell this because you don't know. The process tells me that doesn't have any reason. You don't have any reason to sell it. It's coming down, but that doesn't mean it can't stop right where it is and go right back up. Right? For me to sell it, I have to have a good reason. And that means if it makes a flag here, yes, we'll sell. If it doesn't, then let it break the low. And I can sell beyond the low, under the low, which means I'm thinking, okay, it's either running flat in the future or it's totally going down now. I'll leave this as it is because I still think they're going to go back up, tag the top. Can we get a buy setup from here to there? From this here to there? Well, if we get a flag, we'll take it. There's no flag and there's no reason to buy. Just like there's no reason to sell, there's no reason to buy. And if you don't understand it and you're jumping in and you get lucky, and traders do this, they say, oh, I think this is going to go up, so I'm going to buy it right here. And then it actually does that. It actually doesn't. Congratulations. That's the start of you losing your account. That's the very start of you losing your account. Because you have no idea the mistake you just made. Because the next time you do this, you're going to watch it do this. And you may have a stop here, but you'll be stopped out here. You don't necessarily have to be stopped out here or stop this, because this starts to drop. And if it drops very sharp, good luck to you being stopped out here. They will stop you out here. Maybe even lower. And you make a few of that, and guess what happens to you? Confusion starts because you don't have a process. So just clicking because you have a gut feeling is going to confuse you to hell, because the last two gut feeling failed. And now the next time you see that, you don't even know what to do because fear steps in. That's what the process does. It takes away the fear from you. It takes away you having to put gut feeling into your trading. It makes you a professional trader. You don't have to depend on your guts. You look at the analysis and you work with that. So we're looking for sell setups here. I'm going to put them. We're looking for sell setups there. Euro. This was from this morning. Euro was at the top here. If you notice, I have two arrows. Because we looked at this morning and that's a flag, and we decided, well, even if that break, we're not buying it, because even if it goes, it's likely going to do that, and then it's going to come back here, and then it's going to go back there. That was before all of this happened, right? You know it's before that happened, because if this was dropping, I wouldn't have a small arrow showing you there to the upside, right? So now it's not going up, it's coming down good. What is the analysis? I'm looking at this one thinking, well, either we are making this one, which is the one I'm expecting, either we're getting that one right now, or we're not getting that, we're actually still in this one. We're actually still here. And if we're still here, then this is what is going to happen. It's going to go back up like this, which means if this goes back, I'm going to leave this one here. If it comes to the bottom here, we'll be buying. We definitely will be buying this, because this is the flat we're looking at. 1, 2, 3. That is 2 like this, 3 like this. If it comes here, we'll be buying. If it goes up from here, maybe. If we get a buy setup, just maybe. Because it could be an extended running flat, right? So it could go there, and then it could come back like this. It could come back like this, make a running flat now, that is this one, and then go. So somewhere from here or somewhere from here, we will be buying. I'll leave it in the middle. Let's see which one we get, right? We're looking for a buy setup to the upside. And then we'll see how we take that trade, right? Pong is clearer. Pong is a much clearer one. You remember when this was going up, I was like, okay, if you bought that, be careful, take it out. Now we're getting good flat. I think Pong is making this one very similar to the euro, except that this one is much clearer, because the move to the downside would have to be this. This is the move to the downside you need. And I don't think this one is going to go there. So what I think is they're going to go back up like this. It's going to go back up like from, okay, don't do that. It's going to go back up like that. Not necessarily the exact amount, right? I'm just assuming that they could be. It could do this. And then we are going to get our buy setup. That is the forecast. What would it actually do? Well, we will see what it does, and then we will see if we need to reset the forecast, if we need to make another forecast, because these are the pieces we think is going to happen. But what if this actually drops through the bottom here? Well, that forecast goes through the drain. I'm looking for a buy setup from here, and this would be the correction. We'll relook at the internals and see whether that makes sense, right? If this thing go up here, can we buy it from this one? I think we'll take the buy if we get a buy setup, because I don't know that it doesn't go there, make another flag, go there, make another flag, go there, make another flag, and then come back like this and give me a long drawn out running flat like that. And that just confused the hell out of any one of you if you're not a wave trader. If you haven't completed my course as a wave trader, you look at what did he just did? What did he just do there? I have no idea what the heck he's doing. My traders look at it and said, okay, I got it. They immediately got it because they know what patterns we're talking about. So we will buy it. We're looking for a buy setup. This one has a buy setup. Did I put sell here? I should have put, oh yeah, these are sell, because we're not trying to buy these. We will let these go up and then we'll sell them. We're trying to buy this one up first. We want to buy this first up and then sell it. So why would you want to sell it? Well, if you go in the hourly, you would see this. Remember that sharp one I told you I wasn't sure what to do with it because we didn't have anything for it? Well, maybe this is the thing. This is it, right? This one finished this move. You see this one had a little flag there. This one has a flat. This one has a flat. So if this actually breaks and go there, would we look at this as a possible running flat, or is it total upside? That's a question, right? If we think silver could drop quite a lot and gold could drop quite a lot, both of them have similar structures. I didn't show you the gold because it's the same as silver. Then there's a good chance that this is going to be a running flat and we're going to drop. There's a very high, the higher probability is the downside than the upside. But we will take the buy because we can get out of that trade should it not go very far, and then we'll see what it does. Now, the only way we change this is if this starts coming down deep back into the bottom here. Then we will change that forecast. Right now, that's how we think it could go. I think this one was cool. Yesterday, I had it like this. And I said, watch this here. When it go, if it pull back, make a flag, take it. Remember, I said we want a flag. Well, it'll actually pull back deep, then when then make a flag. Now, if you were there, you would change this immediately to this. And then you would wait for this flag here to buy. So this is not so much a flag. It looks like a contracting thing, or we're going to make something here. I think this could come down, or we could crawl up some more. So I'm going to put a single trend line like this. And I want to see what this is doing. Right? There is a chance this could go lower. Remember, we looked at the bigger picture and said, yes, it could go lower. Nobody says that can't drop one more. And we don't know that they'll break the low. It's not a necessity that they break the low. They can break it, but they don't necessarily need to break it. All it changes is whether we look at this as a running flat in the future, or whether it's a regular flat. That's all the difference. Or if we break this low, then we have a third option, not just regular flat, not running flat only. Second option, sorry, not just a running flat. We have an option that this is the absolute end of the correction to upside. We can put this backwards with a running flat there if we break this low. So the up move would either be a running flat or a much bigger one, which is good for us, right? So come back to where we are here. It could drop one more at least, and then we don't know how deep it's going to go. So go back here and look for a sell setup. We're looking for a sell setup. Euro, we're looking for a buy setup, short-term buy setup. This one, we're looking for a sell setup. If we get any flag here, we will sell it. Any flag on the way down, sell it. Do not sell it the sharp move down because it could stop right where it is. It could stop right where it is and go right back up. And you also don't have a buy setup. So wait for a flag, get the trade. If you want to sell this to drop through the bottom, your day entry has to go here. That's the closest you can get for that not being a correction and go back up. So any flag there, we're selling. New Zealand. Same here. This was a buy yesterday in New Zealand. And if you took that trade, great. The place you would have took the trade would be here on this flat. If you took that one, well done. You should close the trade here or close the trade anywhere here or close it right now. There's a good chance this could be, take this out. There's a good chance this could be not a contracting flat, but a running flat. If it is a running flat, this one is going to go one more up. Now, is there place for one more up in this structure? Let's see the 4 hours. I think there is. If this is an expanding flat, then there is. But whether or not that's an expanding flat, this is definitely going to go one more down. So we can put this lower because that is really, really corrective. If you look at it in the daily, it looks like a daily flat, right? It looks more like this. See this piece here? Had to drop. So we're at this. Even if this goes up here and make this an expanding flat and go there, we are still going to drop one more before we go back up. So a downside here is possible. Is it going to drop now? I think unlikely. I think we're going to go back up first. So we're trying to, basically what we're trying to do is to find where the low is to get that trade. The trade we want is this one. We're trying to find the low. So all the buys we were taking is trying to find that low. Well, it seems like it's not making the lows yet. This definitely looks like it's going to tag that up. So we might get a buy here. Go back to the 15. I'm going to pull this one. And this one here, you can put an entry order here right now. It's useless. Useless in the sense that it's not going to tag you right now. You can put an entry order there for a buy, assuming you're going to get a move up like this. Should it go now, you could get a move up like that. I don't think they're going to go because I really don't think this is a running flat. It's not a classical running flat pattern. So I don't think it's going to stop there and go. But should it do it, you'll be in the trade. most likely you could get a correction here, come back here, and then go. So it could be like a correction of its own, and this would be a contracted flat. Let's wait and see. If this is the one that is dropping, then we get a flag anywhere here, we'll sell it. And when it breaks this low, you'll get that to break even and see how far it goes before you take the profit. Right? So let's go with that. Yeah. This was this morning forecast. We were at the bottom here in the Asian session. And I was telling the traders we need to go back up one more. I think most of you watch it and wonder why the hell we have to go back one more. Don't worry, we also have to come down one more. And then we will definitely be looking for this buy setup. Now, it's not necessary that we will get that buy setup because we did a detailed analysis on this. And there's also a chance that this could work its way down all the way to the bottom here. Go back up there and then drop. So we're looking at this two ways. If all this consolidation stay in this range, the bigger trade might be to the downside. I mean, the really big one. If this does this, come here and go back up to the top here, we will get another drop. We will definitely get another drop like this. But then the bigger trade will be to the upside. Now, there's another option. It becomes a bigger running flat for the upside. If you go into 4 hours, you'll see that. It becomes something like this. See that first one? See how they work their way up to the top and then drop? If you go to the next big one, you'll see the same thing. This is a bigger version of the same thing. You get a huge drop. It work its way up, make flats, work its way up, then drop, right? This was really corrected while it was going up. So what if we're going to do that here? This makes a flat here. Go up, make another flat, go up, make another flat, go up, make another flat, go up, make another, then drop again. Give you that running flat, make a new high, and then drop. See? It's getting interesting, right? So the trade we want is the buy, because the buy makes more sense right now. So not this buy. Some of my traders might have taken the risk on that. We were thinking about taking it. I don't know if anyone did. They were supposed to take it above this top. Let me show you the trade they were supposed to take. They were supposed to take it right above this top here. If they take it, good job. Right? But that's not a trade we would do here, but that's a trade to come and tag this top. So if you guys took it, you want to be careful now to take your profit off, because I don't think this is going to break out. This is an equivalent of this, just in case YouTube viewers are asking where I got that arrow from. This is where it came from. And this one is an equivalent of this, right? Kind of like that move down. I think it's going to go a little bigger because I put it to break this low. If I put it shorter, it will not break the low. So I put it to break the low. And then we will complete this pattern. Kind of a 1, 2, 3. Remember yesterday we had it as a flat pattern like this? We had it as a flat pattern like this, and we thought that this was 1, 2, 3, and this one should go out of the structure. We had an insured there to buy. And you know why we had the insured above the top and we didn't try to buy it inside here? If you bought it inside here, you'll still get break even. Basically, you'll close that trade for break even. But we wanted it to prove that it's actually going up, because we did the analysis and said, you know what, they can actually come down very deep before they go back up. So this is not news to us. This is just one of the options that played out. And in this case, if you were there, I wasn't there, but if you were there 3 a.m. my time, I think this was 4 a.m. my time, this would have been a perfect sell. If you're joining me for the very first time, or if you didn't see if you were not here on Monday, you would say, oh yeah, nice. You're looking at this hindsight and you're saying that would be a very good trade. If you were here Monday, you actually know that we took a trade like that, right? If you were here Monday, you know that we took this trade. Remember, the very same trade, come down, make a flag and drop, right? Same thing, come down, make a flag and drop, break the low, right? So now what? Now it's going up. Wait for the same thing here. Wait for a repeat of this. If this actually stops, come down, make a flag like this, or a flag like this, we are going to sell it here, and then we're going to be looking for the buy. So we will definitely sell it. You took the buy. Well done. So now what you're going to do is move your stops very tight, look to take your profit, because I don't think it's going to break out, and we're going to go for the sell. So let's look for a sell setup short term. That is this trade if it happens. If this breakout make a flat, we'll change that to a buy, but that's not going to happen. Unlikely. So Swiss. I think this is easy. This is easy for every one of you, right? By the way, I was in a Swiss sell. I closed it not on this trade, not on this one when it started to do this. Then I figure out what I thought they'll probably do is they'll come back to the top here, make a flat and then drop. But instead it stayed here for the night. I was not there when that happened, but I closed my trade and now I can see we're getting a running flat. Pretty easy, right? Well, all we have to do, I don't think this is the end of it for this one. It could be if that is the end, any flag here. This is moving up, right? Any flag here, we will buy. Because remember, we're looking for 1, 2, 3, and then upside. But it might not be. I don't think this is the end of it because this looks like we're making a running flat. It looks like this with this correction here. If we're making a running flat, we're going to drop one more here and then go up. So if you get a sell setup here, take it to come and break this low and come to the bottom here, take off your profit, and we'll be looking for a buy setup. This is from yesterday, right? See? Works like magic. I think somebody yesterday said, if this running flat played out and the running flat and the CAD-SUS plays out, that would be magical. Be amazing, right? Because the person probably didn't think it's going to happen. I can't remember who. I just remember reading the comment and I was like, okay, why don't you wait and see? Right? Because if you wait, you will see. So this one, you can consider this already done. Whether it goes up from here or whether it come one more down is irrelevant. That's a running flat. Right? So if it goes up from there, come down one more. Pretty much fits then what we think of as a running flat. CAD. The CAD buy, which was your challenge. I showed you this when we started because that was a challenge. How many of you could take that trade? Not very many. So what we're going to look for here now is a turning point. Right? What we're looking for here now is for this to turn and get this sell. So what if this goes more? You can't actually buy it here now, right? You have to wait for it to make a flag. And if it makes a flag, then we'll assume that this is 1, 2, 3. That's a weird contracting flat. It could be a contracting flat like this, but it's a pretty weird one. So I think most likely we're going to get a running flat one more down. And then we'll see for the upside. CAD has a big one to the downside, but I don't know if that is starting here. We have a big move to the downside that is possible. That is this move here, this one here to the downside. And if that is a starting point, you don't want to miss it because then we're going to be coming back here. Right, so I'll put it like that now, simply so that you can see where I think it's going. If not, it's just a flat. It will become a flat for upside, one more up. Do I want to buy this to the upside? I think it's good. Yesterday, this buy was good. This one might be limited, which means if they go up, they'll probably just break that up and then come back down. We'll have a channel here and we'll be looking for this sell. Right, so the upside might be limited. Don't forget, I can't read the comments now while I'm doing this, but once I finish, I'll definitely look at all your questions and the comments and so. So we're looking for a sell setup, but this is looking for a sell setup. Swiss, we're looking for a sell setup. Euros, it actually came much lower, right? So if you bought this yesterday, let's say you bought that trade yesterday and it did this and it started to do this, that's where you close the trade. So this would have been a loss about that much, right? Remember when you bought that trade, the stop is here. This is your impulse, this is your correction, and you're buying this one for the next impulse. But you don't need to keep this trade, not because you're still safe, you don't need to keep it. You can close it for that loss and then re-enter on this one to the upside. So it's still upside. I'll take all these stops here. It's still upside, but now it's a bigger flat. So put it like this. It's a bigger flat. See that? It just became, this was a small one. This was a smaller one. Now that's a big one. So I'm going to take out these small ones. We bought this, right? We're looking for a buy setup. And that means if we get a flag here, we'll take this trade again, just like yesterday, right? We don't control the outcome. We manage the trade. So yesterday didn't go well. No problem. You close it right there. You bought it there. You close it there. We're going to buy this. And if this goes there and start to go back, we'll close it again. If it goes out, that's a trade you want, right? So the stop loss for that trade and the stop loss for this one, again, would be under the impulse, which is here. So let's go. 15 minutes. Wait for a flag. If we get a flag, we'll take the trade to the upside. Even if this flag just brings, if they make a flag here, right, and this flag just comes to the top here and come back down again, we'll get that trade. The probability is they can do this and drop one more. See that up move? There was this up move, there's this up move. They can do this and it can still come down one more, but that would be a good trade. So let's see if we get that trade. If we get a flag, with the stop loss will change. So we'll see where that goes. Look for a short-term buy setup. You're in New Zealand. This one also is making a bigger one. This never tagged because your entry is above the top. We had entry above the top, so you're not in this trade. It didn't come down immediately. It actually went up, and now it came down. So we can put it like this. You got a flat here. See this one? You got a small flat there. You got an impulse down, a small flat, and this is your impulse down. So that still looks to me like a bigger correction for upside. You pull this like that, and you can pull this one like this. See, still looks upside. So far, we're still looking for a buy setup. Only we'll be looking for a move that is equivalent to this now, to the upside. All we need now is a flag to confirm that. If we get a flag anywhere in the air, we'll start buying. So if we get this gives us your flag here, we're going for that trade. Right? If we get any flag there, that's upside. Any flag here, upside. What would be a sell sign? What would change this from a buy to a sell? Let's take this up. What would change this from a buy to a sell? If this consolidates in this range here. If we get a consolidation here, this would be a sell setup. Right? If it stays there, consolidate like this, we will assume that that was a deep pullback in this impulse, but we are going down, and this was all the correction. I still think it's more upside because the bigger picture is upside. I remember the bigger picture of this is upside, and they normally consolidate, so that's not a exit. See this drop this much, see how much consolidation, this went up that much. Yeah, we're expecting some consolidation here before we go. That's normal, right? That's how it should be. So look for buy setups. Put it here. We're going to put look for buy setups. Let's see if we get that trade. Euro yen. Absolutely buying, right? See this buzzer buy yesterday. Now you can buy today. I'll put the next buy. The next buy should be just, sorry. The next buy should be just above here. Now, I'm not sure this is the one that is going to go out. I think we can make a bigger consolidation here. Some of my traders should be buying this one from the Asian session, that flag. Once it made that flag, but you're going to watch this trade when it comes here because it can come back down. See? If it breaks out, you stay with it. If it comes back down, we repeat the process, buy here again to go. So this is an aggressive trade, by the way. That's for the trading room. Right, those are very aggressive trades. You're taking risk, but you can know the risk. If the entry order on the hourly should be just above where we have it here, so that if this takes off like a rocket, this could consolidate and drop more. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. Right, so let's go. Look for a buy setup. I think the Euro CAD is easy. I remember these buys from the bottom here going up. This was a buy. This was a buy. We had a buy here that we closed to break even. I think we had two buys that we closed to break even. I missed this one totally because I was expecting a bigger flat here. Now this is a buy setup. I think this is an easy one, right? This is like a no-brainer. Can it come down more? Yeah, they can go down more, but make sure you have that entry order there. So this is an active buy trade. We're not waiting for setup. We already have the entry order in. Euro Swiss. Yeah, I was expecting this to go up. Well, that one didn't go up, so take it off. Actually, this one is not going to go up either. Take this off. We're going to drop one more. I think you can already see the running flat here, which is telling me that this is likely going to go down one more, right? It's going to come there, but then it's going to go down one more, like this. And maybe then we start the upside. Maybe then we get this upside. Back to the top before we start coming down. And it all depends on how you look at the upside. Would it be a 1, 2, 3? It could be. It could be first they go up, they pull back, and then they go up. So this one definitely looks downside because of this flat. Let me see if there's any other way we could put that. No, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they're going to come down. So the only way we take this to the upside without this running flat, it has to break through this here, break through that top there. and then consolidate above here, and then this is the trade. But that trade will be a short trade because we're still going sideways here. So rather let it happen and then look for the sell. But if you get the buy from, if they come back to this low, then the buy becomes easy. Right? If it comes back to the low. Is that a normal flag or flat after a move down? So this was a move down and this was the flat. It went back to the top. Remember I showed you that. This is the move down. This flat is normal, going back to the top and then dropping. And we'll probably repeat this before we go back up. So we'll repeat this and then we'll go back up really sharp like this one. So the sell will not be really one big drop. Could probably go slow. Can you guys leave the questions to the end and then I'll answer them? Europa. We're looking for a sell setup. Stop loss has to be above this impulse. The trade you're looking for is a big trade to the downside to come here. Right? So if we get that trade, it's going to come there. You can actually put an entry order under the low now. We had an entry order already. We closed that trade. For those who were following, if you missed it from Monday, that entry order, then you can go back and watch it. We closed the trade before the news for positive because the news was coming and then we weren't sure. This is going slow. I don't like when they go so slow. I want to see them drop like this one. See? This one drop, small one, drop, small one, drop, small one. This needs to drop today. If it doesn't drop today, there's a chance that, just be aware, there's a chance that it could just break this low here and go back up, making this a flat. But this would give you break even. Should it do that, that would be a break-even trade. But if it drops to the bottom, the trade. So let me explain this because a lot of traders are confused of what trading is. This is the forecast for downside. This is the trade I'm looking for. This is what I expect to do. So I'm putting an entry here and I'm putting a stop here. That's what I expect to do. If the chart does that, congratulations to me, I got a good trade. It might do this and stop here and make a flag and go here, make a flag and then go there. I might close the trade here and re-enter here. I might close this trade here and re-enter here. All in all, I will get this booked. I will get this booked. And I will get somewhere here whenever I close that trade book. So I'll get the same trade in 3 parts. But it's the same trade. So if you say, well, it's going now, why you stay with the trade? It means you're setting yourself up for failure because you're insisting on the chart doing what you want it to do. The way we trade is we follow what the chart is doing and we decide, well, if the chart is not doing what we expect it to do, we need to get the hell out of it. Not insist that it's going to drop or that it's going to go your way, but get the hell out of it. And if you learn to be, not have a big ego, but modest enough to say, you know what, I think it's not going the way I expect it to go. I need to get the hell out of it. Then you're gonna become a good trader. But you put your ego into there that, hey, I just made that forecast, it's gonna go, I'm gonna stay with it. You're gonna learn a lot of hard lessons, right? So it might even go there and it might be like this with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades before we get it. And that's okay. Because your job as a trader is not to get it to go where you want it to go. Your job as a trader is to preserve your capital. So if you can preserve your capital with getting 5 small trades, then get 1 big trade, do it that way. Because while waiting for the 1 big trade, you might end up taking 1 big loss and not the 1 big trade you're looking for. That's an indication to the question in the Euro. So I'll answer it for you when I come in, but something you should learn, right? Pamos, buy setup. Put it on the 1 hour. If you follow me only for this week, only this week, I'm not going to say you need to know all my things. And we got tagged there. What would you have done with that trade? Close the trade. We closed about 6 trades like that this week that didn't go. We closed them all for positive. Positive break even or slight negative break even. If you don't close this trade because you insist on this going, you will learn a lesson because you're upside down here. What would you do when you're upside down here? You'll be out of that trade because your stop loss for this trade, for this flag, your stop loss should be here. So you would have taken a loss that is unnecessary. The chart is telling you it's not going. It actually give you, let me tell you how much opportunity it give you to get out of it. Not the first pullback, that's 1, 2 hours. After that, it give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours to close the trade for a small loss and 2 hours for break even. So 2 hours break even, 3 hours, you still could have taken a small loss. And what do you do if you close it? So now what? You close it and you relax. Your capital is intact. You didn't lose anything. If it goes, you're going to still be in the trade. You're going to still be in this trade. If it doesn't go, guess what happened? Well, you're not worried. You're not sick, not sleeping the whole night thinking when you can get the hell out of this trade. And traders do that. Traders take one trade that keep them going for weeks and months, and they're stuck in it and they don't know what to do with it. And first it was 1%, and then it's 2%, and then it's 4%, and then it's 10%, and then it's 20% on a single trade. They're upside down and they have no idea what to do with it. And instead of focus on trading daily, all their attention and focus is on that single trade that is driving them crazy, rethinking everything they learned, believing that this whole thing is not working well. Forex will never work. Look what happened. I made 5% of money the whole month, and then in one trade I'm losing 20%. Yeah, because you don't know what you're doing. You don't have rules for money management. You don't have rules for trade management. You don't have rules for anything. You don't understand what the chart is doing. You have a problem with that? Send me a message. I might be able to help you. I don't mean joining the course. If you're stuck in a trade that is 20%, 10%, or you have a really serious problem with your account, send me a message on Skype. I might be able to help you. There are people in here, I think, who I help on YouTube who are not part of our group. They will tell you that. I don't know if any one of them is right now looking, but if they are, they will tell you. Send me a message. I'll help you. You don't have to join the group for that, because I know the pain you're going through. I'll try my best to see what I can do. So if you're one of those struggling traders, don't let that happen. Or if it happened already, don't be shy. Just send me a message. We'll figure out every trade one by one. Let's go. Pong in. Buy setup. I don't think this one is going to go, but it's a buy setup. Let's say in the 15. You can put an entry over here, but you can get a sell actually. You can sell this. This very much looks like it's going to drop one more. I think I realize why I have it from here, because there's a good chance that this could come back here, break this low, and then go back up. Right? So it's going to go up here, at least, but it's going to drop one more. And just in case you wonder where this arrow came from, let me just show you. It came from here. See this one? And this one? There are two up moves. This was the first up move. That was the first up move. This was the second up move. See, this one is a slightly shorter. So let's put it between the two of them, something like this. Not full to that one, but not small as this one. Let's put it like that. And if this happens, this is the trade you'll be looking for. So you might get a sell, and then you can get a buy. What if this sell dropped much more? You may want to take it. So where are you going to take that sell? Okay. We're going to get real aggressive here now. And you're going to put a sell. Now, let me disclaimer. I'm not making a trade call for anybody. I'm showing you how I would take this trade. So you don't have to take it. Right? I'm showing you how I would take this trade. I would put an entry here. And if it drops, if this drop, I would expect it to do this. Now, if it doesn't do that, let's say it does this. Let's say, well, not this one is not a good example. I'm trying to find a good example. I think we had an example of that where we managed to trade out. There are many examples. Say, for example, this one was the one that tagged me. Let's say we were trying to sell this and I got tagged here. See it when they pull back, I'm out of that trade. Now, that might be a little hard to explain, but you get a message. Don't take off the buy. The buy is for the bigger trade. This one is you're going to get aggressive. Now, if it goes higher and it comes back here, let's say it goes higher like that, then it comes here and make a flag here. I'll sell that flag for this trade. But for now, this is the entry order. This is the trade. The stop still has to be here because that is where my entry is going to be for the buy. This is a very, very aggressive trade. I do not advise you to take it if you have no idea of wave analysis. Right? If it breaks out, you want the buy. The buy is a trade we're trying to get, not the sell. The sell is just testing your skills. Let's go. Pound Swiss. Okay, it came down. It's going up. It's making another flat. But this here, this was one flat. We're making another one here, and that is a big problem. This one has to go back down. I think it's already going back down. It has to retest this low. Retest this low, then we can look for a buy setup. And if you're making so much flags in the flags, I think we ignore it, let it go. See this one, all of these here, this was a sell setup, this was a sell, this was a buy, that's break even. This was, I think there were a few sells and buys we had in here. This was a good sell, turned out to be good. Some of them good, some of them not good. I think we bought some as well, that there are a lot of break even trades in here. And this is likely going to do the same thing. It's going up, but it's not going to go up the way you want it to go up, right? This is going up with a big flat here. Like this one, go make a flat, go make a flat, come back here, go make another flat here. So it's pretty useless. Take it out. If we get a good setup from the bottom here, we'll take it. Pound New Zealand. Why did I have it that it's going to drop? Oh, we're looking for this one down. We're waiting for this, right? This to do this, and it actually came down a lot more than I expected. That would be an expanding flat if that is to go. So if we get a flag here, we'll buy it. We need a small flag there, and then we'll buy it. Because it's looking like an expanding flat. Right now, it's coming back really deep. When they come back so deep, it's not very good. It means this is getting flat. It's going to drop. It's not going to be a big move to the upside. See, that is looking more like a deep correction for a drop. So let's see if we get the trade. If we get a flag here, we'll take this trade up. If this consolidates here, we'll consider dropping here. If it consolidates, it's going to go higher, then it's going to come here and then go back up one more like that. So it's either going to make a flat or a flag, we'll get a buy setup. Look for a buy setup on a short term. It's going to be a really short-term trade. If they consolidate here, I don't know if we'll take the sell. We'll have to consider that because we're in this structure. I'll probably put it like this, most likely. And we tend to break out of that structure there. So if we get a flat here, we might consider the sell. Right, if it makes a flat here, we'll consider sell. I'll leave it open. Tomcat. This is a buy. Keep the buy above the top because we're making a flat here. I think this one is making a flat here. See this? This kind of making a flat here. I don't think it's the total upside. It could be all of this is making a flat. All of this here is making some kind of a flat that will come to this level here and then drop one more and then go. But keep it here just in case I'm wrong and they do this, and this is all the correction you want to trade. We don't want it lower. We want to prove that they're going to break the top. Because if it breaks the top and come back, that's a running flat. That's a manageable trade. Aussie Swiss. Okay. Came back to the top. Maybe it's going to go one more up. Maybe this will still have one more up here, and then we're looking for the sell. Back to the bottom. So let's see. Aussie yen. Yeah, this did work its way up and it's still going. So if you get a flag here, you can sell, wait for a flag here and buy, sorry. If you get a flag here, you can buy, put an entry above the top. Put an entry above the top and go for this trade. See? That forecast was there from since last week. Aussie CAD. It's going up really fast. This I still think is relatively sharp, so I wouldn't be surprised if they come back one more here. If this kind of come back here and then go. I think that would make more sense, but if we don't get that, any flag you get here now, we're at the top, right? So any flag you get here becomes a buy. We would go with this as only correction. It's pretty small, but we'll go with that. So any flag would be a buy. Look for a buy setup. And I think we were coming back to retest this top. Right? Yesterday we looked at it and said that is a possibility they will come back to retest that top. But let's see. Because it looks really possible. If this starts to come down, we'll see if we get a sell setup. It's going to be within a range, very small range. So Aussie CAD, you're looking for a buy setup. Aussie New Zealand. Yeah, we're still looking for a buy setup. Let's see if we have a flag now. Yesterday, it started to go up, and I said, if it makes a flag, we will buy. Right? Yesterday, we were here, and I said, if this thing makes a flag, we will buy. Well, not only a flag, it seems to be making a flat. So good. If that proves to be a flat, which means it has to come here and go back up, then it's a good buy. Right? So you can easily put an entry order above the top and let it prove it's actually going to do that. What if it's coming back to retest the low? Not interested in the sell. Right? So what you want is the buy to the upside. And then we'll see. Euro CAD is on. We're in the Aussie, New Zealand. Let's do the New Zealand CAD, and then we'll go to that. New Zealand CAD, every flag you get to buy. I don't know if any one of you bought this one, but you probably weren't there. So we're getting a flag here now. That is a buy setup. This is a buy setup. It's a flag, very small flag, but that's a buy setup. Right? So you're buying that one for more upside. That's a 15-minute flag. You can see it clearly. Buy above the top and keep a stop somewhere here or somewhere here. Right? Because we're trading the small flags to the upside. And this has a lot to go. So I think I showed you this pattern way back. Right? And it's going up. It started really slow. We had one trade, I think, or two trade break even, and it's not giving you really clear trades because it's slow, but eventually it's going to take off. So don't lose focus. Keep your eyes on it. This is a good trade. Let's see how that goes. So this is a buy setup. That's an active buy, by the way, which means a trade that we haven't insured on. That's what Euro CAD is. Somebody said Euro CAD is going. Good, you're tagged in it. Keep your stop a little lower. Don't keep your stop under this low. Put your stop under here. Is that too big a stop? Let me see what it looks like. 124. If you want to keep it smaller than that, I would say at least keep it here. Right? But if you do 124, then what you normally do is double your risk, because you're not going to expect it to come and take you out here, but you double your risk. The trade is a big trade to the upside, right? If it goes, you don't want to keep a stop under the low and let it come and take you out here, right? You don't want to keep a stop here and then it actually drops like that, take you out and then go back up, right? That would be a shame, because that happens a lot, right? It dropped really fast, come here, it's still making the flat, and then it takes off like a rocket. And now not only did you're not in the trade, you actually took a loss. That is unnecessary, right? Because there's no point in that. Euro Swiss. Oh, sorry, we are at the bottom here. My fault. That's just New Zealand CAD, New Zealand yen. I think we have to go faster because New Zealand yen is crawling up. Yesterday, I said there was no trade in the buy. There's no trade in the buy today. We need this thing to drop one more. We need it to go there, come back one more, and then that is a good buy setup. Right? If it pulls back one more, that would be a really good buy setup. We think yen can come down one more. I think the dollar yen can come down one more. That was our thought process. So let's see. New Zealand Swiss. Okay, we're going up, but to where? If this is all a correction to go up, any flag here would be a buy. Let's assume that is all the correction and this is going up. Wait for a flag and buy. There's no flag in it, but wait for a flag buy. So I'll put wait for a flag buy. We don't have any flag. Let's see. CAD yen. Okay, CAD yen went down much more. It didn't stop. It didn't go up from here. Take that out. We're looking for the buy. It didn't go. This line is to show you where the first down impulse was. You can't see it, but we found it, so we'll show you. That's the first move down. See that? This is the first move down, and then it starts to correct. What's the importance of that? Well, we did break the top here. So it's very important to know where it started here and then went there and come down here. This is a deep pullback, and it could continue to go within this structure, right? Within this structure, this could keep coming down, which means it could drop, and it could drop, and it could drop, and it could drop, and then it will go back up like that, make a flat, and then totally drop. That's one option, right? The second option is, well, they don't actually do that. They go back up from here, kind of go back up, break this top, and then come down. Right? I don't think it would be total upside. In the big picture, see? So remember, we have two arrows, which is one is this one, and one is this one. And it could be both. It could be they're making this running flat first. This could go back up, by the way. If we get buy set, we'll take it because it could do this and then come back here and complete this one. And then go. Because it will make a new high. If it completes that flat, it will definitely go up and make a new high. So on the daily structure, you would see it like this. You would see this come here, whether it goes back up and then come, or whether it comes now, it's going to complete this one. And then this is going to make a new high. Okay, we're looking at that as a possible running flat. And from that point, we're going to be looking for this move down. So let's see which one it's giving us. Go back now to the 1 hour. And let's see what this does. We don't have a buy setup. We need a flag for a buy setup. We don't have any flag anywhere. Say the 15. This is kind of a slow move, but it could be a running flat. It's not there as yet. It's not a clear running flat. It has to pull back something like this, and then we make an assumption that that's a running flat, put an entry here and go for that one. Cat Swiss. Okay, this is still a sell setup. Only now you'll be selling it differently. You'll be selling this piece. So you can put an entry over here. And not much more, but there is a drop to go. Yeah, we have a lot more to go. So yes, keep the sell on. That's it. If it becomes bigger, we'll take it off and then we look at it. But right now, that's a sell setup. It's actually a very good sell setup. Let's go. Swiss yen. Buy. But I don't think it's ready for the buys. This was a good one, by the way, but I don't think this is ready. This is giving you a flag here, which means we're going to go there, come here, go back there, come back here. When we get this, then we'll be ready for the upside. So we don't have any trade right now there. And this one doesn't have anything. Oh, this has a sell. Take this out. All right, this is still coming down and you're getting a sell. So we might get that up move, but later. It's a small sell there. This was a small sell. We spoke about that yesterday if you want to take it. This could drop one more, but then we're eventually going to get that sharp move up and then a drop. So it's going to be a big flat, right? It's going to be like this. See? So you're going to let, this was the sell from the top there. I think this was 1, 2. And I expect that to come here and then you can sell it. Right, so let's see. Take that out. Natural gas, I'm going to go a little faster because there's a lot of time. We're here for a very long time. Natural gas, you might be getting a sell setup now that you might want to consider. Take the trade. Yep. See that one? It dropped nice. So let's see if we, by the way, if it stays there till this afternoon in the news, that would be a good sell. Let's hope it doesn't go back up. If it goes back up, you'll have to take it, which means if it come higher into this, you'll have to take the trade off. Oil. If you got tagged in the sell, wait for, you know how to manage it, right? My traders know how to manage it. Should it not go, you will have to get out. But this is the first hour you're tagged. So let's see, that's a sell setup. Sorry, not UK oil. US 30. Okay, US 30 is going to go up more. Right, this one is going to go up more. If you look at it, I think we're making a flat here. So this one is going to go one more up here, this one. And then there's a lot of sharp waves. So there's a wave down and there's a wave up and there's a wave down and then there's a wave up and then all of this will probably drop. Now the question is, can all of this go up to where we want it to go? We want it to go. Remember, this was a buy yesterday, right? That one. Or if that was a sell, you closed. I think that was a short-term sell. I can't remember. One was a buy. No, that was a breakout buy from this channel, right? The breakout from this channel for the buy. So let's call it break even. Let's say you couldn't stay with the trade, so you took break even. There is a sell setup under this low right now. Should this drop to the bottom, but I don't think it's going to drop. I think there's a lot more to the upside. Now, we were trying to buy this to go up. Right? We're trying to buy this to go up, but the way it's going up is really slow. So I think if we do all of this that I just showed, this would be a sell setup this afternoon. Right? And this one we might get, but way in the future. And on the other ones, we have some perfect patterns like this. Right? We're looking for that running flat. I think we're going to get it. So all you need is for this to go up one more and you finish the flat. So this buy was good. If you stayed with it, well done. If you didn't stay with it, consider you got break even. Taking this out. Look for one more there and then downside. See this? Look for one more. Let's see if we get one more. What if we don't get any more and it's dropping from here? What if that's it and it's dropping? Then you need this to drop, make a flag, and then sell. This is what. Okay, one more up too. All it can come down from there, right? It can start dropping from here, but we're expected to do one more there and then drop. So these were the trades these were the setups from yesterday. Don't miss the downside. The upside is if, okay, if you didn't get it, you didn't take it, no problem, but don't miss the downside. So what if it starts coming down from here? Let it drop, make a flag, sell. See, pretty easy. Okay, we're not going to go through all of this. Time is running out and it's too long. So I'm going to quickly show you Bitcoin, show you a few of them really quick. Like I said, Bitcoin is still downside. This is still downside. All right, so you can take this off. Now, the only way that is upside is if it crawls up slowly to the top, but I don't like the idea of this being a running flat. So I'll take it off. We're thinking whether that's a running flat for upside. You can actually put a sell entry here now. Ethereum, I'll show about 3 or 4, and then we'll do the rest of the New York session. Ethereum is starting to go sideways, so it's still a sell setup here, right? This is going sideways, which means the pattern is slightly different than what we thought, and that's a good sell setup. XRP, you're still getting a buy setup here. This could still be a buy to break the top and then come down. So let's go into 4 hours, see what it looks like. Yeah, we could go one more up. I could see this actually making one more up and then coming down to this one, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go back up. Well, let's see. If it's going to come down, it has to drop, make flags, and then we sell. So don't sell it yet. Right? Wait for the flags to happen. So, okay, that's it. We have covered most of it. We'll do everything back in the New York session if you join us. Let's take some questions really quick. Let me go to quick, see what you guys were asking or what you're writing. Good morning, good morning. Thank you. Welcome to all of you and good morning. So let's see. I just shorted the DAX to test the DAX you shorted. We didn't do that. Let me see. Good job. Depending where you take the short. What's the trade? Let's see. Oh, be careful with this now. We were thinking of short, but this could be a flat. But good one, if you take it from the top, watch it to retest this. I think this could be a flat here for one more up. I think this could go more like this, right? See, this had a correction. So this could go, if you take this whole one like that and you put it like this, right? There's at least one more trade up here and then we can look for downside. So at this point, if you short it, you may want to just keep a close eye on it because the possibility for a flat is there. Let's see. Pound USD, we did it already. I think that was before I actually did. You took the buy. I think that was in the EuroCAD, if I can remember. We'll see. I think that buy was in the EuroCAD. I assume that was where we were. Yeah, it's still early. Let the 1 hour close at the next hour come at the next hour, and then you decide if that was it. Okay, there's a question here from, do you take buys and sells only when there's a setup, or do you take it regardless based on structure? It's all based on structure, but you wait for the setup. US, yeah, it did not have a setup. Yeah, it had a small setup, but that's a 5-minute setup, right? So I don't know if your question was posed before I showed it or after I showed it. So when we were in the trading room analyzing it and we figure out, our thought yesterday was 1, 2, 3, and this is going to go up, right? Remember, we had an entry over here to buy. And that didn't happen. It actually dropped from here and do this. So if you were there when this happened, you would know that this is going to give you 1, 2, 3. And that would become a flat of its own. So you're expecting this. I think here was where some of my traders will take it. That's an aggressive trade, right? Because there was a small flag here. You can take that one to get to the top with a stop here. That stop would be here because should this drop, you don't want to be in that trade, right? That's a very aggressive trade, not to encourage you guys to ever do that. And it's breaking out. That is irrelevant. Breakout is irrelevant here, right? Remember, these lines don't exist. I hate it when people say it's going to bounce off my line there. That line is me indicating to you what I think the pattern would look like. Can it come down from here? Yes. You let it come, let it make a flag sell. What if this is going to go up? What would be the buy setup? Well, simple. I think by now everybody knows that, right? You can just wait for this to make a flag. And if we get a flag here, we're going to be buying it. That flag will take about 4 hours. Join us in the New York session and you'll see what trade we get. Simple, right? Why is the stop loss placed further? Okay, that question was answered either yesterday or the day before when I spoke about why we would double or we wouldn't double the risk. One of the webinars I don't know if anybody could advise you which webinar was it, but then watch all of them, right? And you will see the answer to that question, how we calculate the risk, where you would put the stops, why you would put the stops a certain place, and why you would manage the trade differently. Remember where you expect it to go and what you put your stop, where your stop is, where your entry is, and where you expect it to go is irrelevant to how you manage the trade. Trade management is a whole thing by itself. And I think one of my traders answered you just under that. Yeah, I think Matthew said because you have the time to manage it, because you have to manage your trades. Where you think it's going to go and where it's going, where it's actually going could be different. That's the whole purpose of trade management, right? So stop losses and where you put them, where we put stop losses, that depends what you're using stop loss for. When I put a stop loss, it's a safety mechanism. I said, should it come to this point, the pattern I'm looking for is no longer valid. I need to be out of the trade and I need to accept that loss at that point, right? Oh, cat Swiss, I didn't do the cat Swiss, Michael. Let me see. Oh, Ovidio got the NASDAQ upside. Well done. Good job. That one actually moved faster than the other two. Cat Swiss. We didn't do this? I think we do it. We're looking for a sell. That question might have been before I actually put it. The 4 hours, it's the same thing. It's going down. Okay, 1 to 4 hours. My bad. The 4 hours, we're expecting it to come down to the bottom here. See these small flags? If you took them, what happened? We're getting one of them now. Right? So don't fail to take the trades. Big picture downside. I would be surprised if it drops. We'll see. Swiss is about to come down. Dollar Swiss. So, okay, guys, I think we've got it. Let me see what else. Also, most of the time, if you sell, should be. I don't know that. If you say so, I'll trust you know what you're saying, but I don't know that. I've never checked Bitcoin against any of that. I treat the chart in the video. Could we have a look at FTSE and UK 100? Let's see if it's in UK 100. I think we have this one. The one we have, we can look at UK 100. We'll have to go look for that. So this one is kind of, that didn't go. You're in more of like a running flat pattern there. And this one is kind of going up. I think we want an upside here. Let me see if I can remember what we're looking for. It could come lower. This could come lower. We were expecting this to come here and make a running flat like this. And then go back up. I think you can see it, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, go back up there, complete this one, and then go, right? So I think it can come lower. We did break the top. We don't have to break this low by rule, right? But there is a buy setup short term, which means it can make corrections as it go. And it seems like you might be getting a buy setup here. Let me see the 15, what it looks like. Yeah, you could actually get a buy setup here. All right, this could go. This could go one more up. I think we might look at that as a possible running, expanding flat, running flat upside. All right, so that small running flat did work, came down. This might be just a bigger correction. It might just do this and then drop to, because the downside is what you're looking for. So the upside is, if you get a perfect flag, then buy it. Otherwise, so that let this finish what it's doing and then go down for the downside. So, okay, guys, trade with care. I would see all of you. Thank you for coming. Don't forget to share the good news to someone else. I'm pretty sure you know some struggling trader who needs help. Send them, and I will talk to all of you this afternoon. All right, take care, trade with care.